Hello there, and welcome to High Heels to Happy Feels. I'm Natalie,
I'm Stephanie.
and we're here today to talk all things winter solstice. So, we are coming into the new wheel of the year. Um, so, that starts on winter solstice, which is today, December 21st. And there are so many ways to celebrate and honor and plan for this day and the year ahead. So, we're going to take you through it. All right, Steph, tell me what you're doing today.
Well, at the moment, there's baking going on because, holiday traditions. But I am actually going to do from our journal the white and green candle spell. So that white candle on your left, the candle on your right, that's one thing I'm going to be doing today and stepping through that. Um, and there's burning that goes on involved with it too. So,
Right.
which is super fun. But then it's releasing too. So that's a lot of it today for me is going to be setting intentions
Mhm.
as I'm working through everything that I expect 2025 to be and where I want my spiritual development and what I want things to look like. And I know you and I are going to talk about it, but Rauhnacht, which I'm mispronouncing, and my apologies to our German
Ach,
population.
ach, not. Yeah.
Hochnacht. And I
Neither
get
one
that
of us is good at this. Let's just move on.
right. Anyway, but we're going to be talking about that too. And so that's the other piece of this is those 13 wishes. As we get into the December 25th, working through winter solstice and Yule today, then moving on and doing that. And I've actually got my mother looking up recipes. So we're probably going to do something that's very Yule specific today. We found a
Yay.
really good drink that is non-alcoholic, but it looks like it's got a whole lot of sugar. So we'll see how that goes. How about you?
Not sleeping today. So, bringing up Yule specifically, I actually was supposed to go to a coven event today. We were all going to decorate. We were going to bring our own little Yule logs, and then we were going to sit around and decorate Yule logs and like
Oh,
do a
yeah.
whole ritual with it. I can't do it just because timing shit happens. So it's unfortunate. So I'm going to miss that. But I'll just maybe wear one of my robes around and burn stuff out of my journals. I
Well,
don't
you
know.
can still decorate your own Yule log too. I even thought about grabbing the log that I have that's on my altar back here and taking that and just going, I think I'll put something on it. And then I was like, no, I don't wanna. I don't wanna. But I might get crazy with some crystals later and you know,
Nice.
do some things with the log or just set them up and yeah, because of course there's a lot of crystals and that represent the colors for each kind of season, and of course quartz goes with every season, so with every
Right.
set. But using that and maybe some garnet and um, I've got some pine and that type of thing that's kind of laying around here. That's not real pine, but I'm going to pretend for today. But yeah, and decorating my garland a little bit.
Yeah, that's super nice. So, like you said, I'm going to be because I still have, prior to Steph and I sharing our journal, we have journals and we would print them and we'd put them in this big book. This is like our business book.
This is our book,
So
right? Yeah.
I need to go through this journal and get through it. And then I have to write everything down in this journal because I've already done my intentions for the year. I got that completed yesterday. Uh, so I have that to do, but it was really funny the way I do the daily card for Immersive Spirit. For those of you who may not know that, the daily card today, when I was talking about doing intentions and what that looks like, very clearly got make sure you're letting go of the things that no longer serve you. And I know that, and that's such a cliche term, and it's such it just feels so blah when you say
Right.
it, even though that's what you're hearing. And so I got a very clear no. Tell people to either write the villain story of their future or take a good hard look at themselves now and let that go and not take it with them. And I
Sensational.
thought, wow, like that felt really spicy for like the
Huh?
way my spirit guides normally talk to me.
Right? I
So
like to examine their villain self.
yeah. So I did mention the daily card. I don't think I brought it across as direct as my spirit guides may have wanted me to, but they're like, yeah, have them write their villain story. What villain do they want to be in whose life as they go forward? Or would they just like to leave that here? And if they want to leave it here, let go of the fear, let go of the judgment, let go of all of the things that make you the villain
Right.
shadow work. I mean, like it was
Shadow
crazy.
work, big time. And
Yeah.
that's ultimately what winter solstice and Yule is all about, right? Is it's a time of reflection. Yes, it's celebration. And yes, we're moving from the darkest day into the back into the light of the season in the spring. And but it's about taking those moments of reflection, deep reflection, and a lot of that is shadow work. And
Yeah.
what's the garbage you ready to leave behind? And burn it. And I think that's why I loved the 13 wishes so much, when you found that with Hawknot, because being able to just write those 13 down and each one burns, you don't even know which one, right? You're grabbing them from a hat or from a jar or whatever, and then the last two remaining, you're burning one and keeping the other, and boom, there's your intention that you're focused on for the coming year. That's
Yeah.
glorious.
And
It's
I mean, that's so, and I'm thinking more of it like a manifestation because,
yeah.
yeah, Steph and I've never taken part in this, even with our German roots. Um, so we're like, yeah, this sounds really cool. But then I'm thinking about the intentions, but I've already done my shadow work. Like I got down to the crap that I need to work on for next year, like
Uh,
my inspired yearly word, and then I've kind of broken it down into what months feel right. So I've done a lot of work on that already. I do not want to add on top of that another intention. So I'm thinking maybe
manifest.
it's more manifestation, or I don't
Uh-huh.
know. I guess it's going to depend because we're supposed to write 13 wishes, 13, like,
13
this is
wishes.
what I want.
But it's as if they've already happened, right?
Right.
So it's like, so it is kind of a manifestation because it's like these are 13 things and this, it's happened already. This has already happened for me. So yeah, I, yeah,
See how that aligns with the intentions that I've already like written. I mean, I still have to move them into my spiritual awakening or
yeah,
my spring awakenings book. I haven't quite got that far yet, but it is only the 21st.
right, right.
And then
It's
just add that on top of it.
baby steps. Yeah,
For sure.
yeah. Maybe as I'm writing mine, I'll just grab my spring journal, the spring awakenings as well, and just put them right in there versus putting them in December and then me,
Right.
right? Since before we had the printed version, the spiral bound version that we can do now, it's yeah, yeah,
Well,
yeah,
and I'm having a hard time of letting that go because and I suppose it's a little bit selfish, but those journals have been ours and like private to just you and I and the way we speak to each other. It was like the secret sisterhood. And
right.
now that we're selling them or people can download them, I don't know. I'm having a hard time pushing over to something that's actually available for other people to use.
Right?
It's silly, but
I get it. It feels like it loses some of its magic, but I think we're just sharing it with other people, right? Because it's been such a great tool for us,
yeah,
um, for years. And, you know, it's just we developed our own way of doing it. So whether they love it or not, okay, but we do. And we do this every day.
right.
And we're, you know, when we connect or something, sometimes it's a text message. It's like, dude, what was your card today? You're never going to believe the shit I got. And then the other times it's going, oh, you're totally going to believe what I got today because guess what? And it's like, well, did you remember to write your gratitudes? What'd you do this morning? What'd you dream last night? Oh my God, you know, and
Right.
crazy conversation. So, yeah.
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 Yeah. That'll be interesting.
Anyway.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I have to move over, but so that's some work. But um for those of you who aren't maybe astrology buffs, there's like the cardinal signs, the mutable signs, and the other one. Anyway, every time we change seasons. So we're talking about the wheel of the year. And December 21st is the beginning of this season. And it goes on quarters. And the cardinal signs sit at the beginning of each of those quarters. So I've definitely got the Capricorn energy of like, let's do this. Let's
Right.
go. Let's climb that hill.
Right.
I want to get it done because Virgo's also in our moon right now,
Uh-huh.
which is, the little organizer and gets all
Your
the
list
details
person.
down.
Right. Get it done.
So
Yes.
I need those two. I need to use this energy today before Virgo moves out.
Uh-huh. Because
I mean,
Virgo
we're going to be in Capricorn
is
for a
like a
month, but
right, but Virgo in Capricorn is like a double whammy of analyze, list it out, tackle, 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 right? It doesn't have, especially in, like you said, in a cardinal, when you look at the cardinal fixed and mutable of the modalities in astrology, the beginning of the season, which is today for our winter season. So we're in Cardinal. Everything is screaming today. I mean, it's just like, okay, get it done, because
Right.
you are in a stop with Cardinal. You are in Virgo and Capricorn, like you said, between the sun sign in Capricorn right now and then the moon today in Virgo. It's like, yeah, you're right. I got to stay up till midnight because I think it turns at 12:01. Well, then so be it. Today's the day.
Well,
Get
and
her
very
done.
earth-based. They're both earth-based.
Yes, they
We
are.
got no water. We got no emotion around this. This is get stuff done. This is, yeah, get your shadow work done so you can get it out of the way. Not because we want you to have the presence of moving through it or processing. Get
Right.
it on the list and burn it. We're done.
Right. Be done. Be gone.
So it's a great day to,
Oh,
to get all those things done.
oh God, that's so true. It is so true.
Which is
Yeah.
why my coven, that's why I can't, well, not my coven, like I was going to take part in this coven.
Right.
Um, Clearly that's why it fell apart, because that's like my emotional connection and my
Right.
woo,
It
my
didn't work.
movement. It's like,
Mhm.
no, Virgo and Capricorn right here saying, no, ma'am.
Not today, sister. You got things to do and you're like moving, moving, moving. Yep.
That's exactly how it feels. And so
Uh-huh.
here I am
Uh-huh.
doing the work.
I totally agree. Awesome. Well, we knew we'd be short and sweet. What else are we doing? Oh, um, I don't know. Do you want to talk Wheel of the Year a little bit or no? I mean, we talked, there's the 8 sabbats, right? So for those that aren't familiar with kind of how that looks from
Mm-hmm.
a pagan historical perspective, your sabbats, kick it with Yule to start your winter. And then you've got Impulse in February, beginning February, and then
Oh,
Ostera,
Sarah.
which brings
Mhm.
in our spring, right? So it's kind of that transformation that comes across there. And then that takes us into Beltane, which is May 1st. So you see that you've kind of got them broken up, but there's certain things that are seasonally happening. And then when you get to midsummer, summer solstice, then all of a sudden we're kicking off summer, right? And that's aligning with our
Our
big
full moon.
shifts, winter and spring and summer, and yeah, and with the full moon and so much more. But I mean, there's
Yeah.
so much around the wheel that's just magical,
Well,
truly.
and so I bring up full moon only because Steph and I, again, we're very cyclical. These are the things that we've just been doing. So why we work with the moon on a monthly basis, and we help others try to live that same kind of intentional, because it's easy to pattern on a season or on the moon like that.
Absolutely.
Season, the wheel also travels on that same pattern,
Yep.
whereas today is our new moon. So this is our intention setting, our let's get it, let's get our drive together. And then we progress towards the full moon. So we take all of our action, we do all of our work, and then we hit that full moon at the summer solstice. And that's when we start letting go and accepting the harvest, just like we would between a full moon and coming back to the new moon. It's just a huge cycle of things.
Right. This is the new moon of the year. And midsummer, so when you're at summer solstice, is your full moon. And then you're waning the second half of the year. So it's just like
Taking in that harvest, coming back, being grateful, like Thanksgiving.
at a giant stage. And
Right.
then each month you're saying, okay, so the real new moon is here and the full moon is here. So what are my intentions based on what I set with the big mama
Right.
for the whole year ahead? Yeah. Yeah.
And that's exactly how I do my intention setting. And that's kind of how that's kind of the vein we take when we're helping other folks live intentionally, because we've been doing this like this for, a fairly good amount of time. But you set that big intention for your year, and then under that big intention, you have all of these little umbrellas that fit nicely into the months and the seasons and yeah.
And
So,
and how you all want it to look and shape. Absolutely.
right. And then you are intentionally carving your life, living your life, manifesting the things that you want inside of it.
Yes.
So December 21st is it's like a new year for me.
It is. It's New Year's.
Let's go.
It is. It is. And I told the girls, because my partner's daughters are here celebrating the holidays with us. And I was like, it's Yule. And they're like, oh, it is. I mean, they know of it as well, right? Even though
Right.
different traditions, but they're like, cool. I said, yes, we will be celebrating in some capacity. There will be candles burning and shiny baubles and crystals and things around here as we go out and just woohoo and whatever we're going to do. But it's the kickoff of a whole new season, and it's that first day of winter. So now you hunker down, and it's the comfy foods, and it's all those things, and you really um, celebrate and self-care and reflection and do those pieces. But to Natalie's point, today's just kind of the hyperdrive of it because hello,
Right.
Capricorn, Virgo, Cardinal. Yeah, go, go, go.
Well, and so to be fair, winter solstice is always Capricorn, the first day of
Yes,
Capricorn.
it is.
So,
Yes, it
and
is.
that's a great
That's
way,
always,
like
that's
the
going to happen.
universe planned that energy. So we would have that drive to set those new intentions, to get on that wheel of the year,
Right.
start getting in alignment. But yeah, the sabbats are the best to celebrate, like crystals and candles and
Oh, yeah.
food and people. And again, I'm disappointed I'm not going where I'm supposed to be going, but
I know. I think you should go.
I have things that I must get done.
I gotcha.
So I'm there in spirit, and they know.
Yeah.
Celebrate, celebrate.
Right. Exactly. I know. Yep. I'll be finishing the crystal course. That's my goal today is to get the crystals course done. So I'll be playing with crystals in a couple of different capacities today. One is writing about them, and the other is just playing with them.
Yay! So good, so good. So I did set my intention for the year. It's bold transformation.
Ooh.
Ooh, I know. I got there from tarot and like a whole bunch of different work I did, and I did some meditation on it.
Yeah.
And I've got my pillars that are going to support it all figured out. It's going to be a year.
Oh
Bold
boy.
transformation.
Man, and that could be a lot.
It is. I think it's going to be like authentic balance and fearless creativity are my
Ooh,
pillars. I know. Doesn't it sound like
that sounds very, very magical. Very,
it
yeah.
is? I'm creating
Yeah.
my magical year.
Yeah. And so you did, yeah, okay. So here's a question for you. So did you use our new tarot course? Because I know we just got that offering out there and you put together some beautiful steps. I love this offering. And it's just because it's not just okay, what are the minor, what are the majors, how do you use them? It's like, nope, here's some real life examples. Nope, here's how you use it in your intuition. So to my point, did you find yourself kind of going, okay, I'm going to step through this like we would want for our users to be able to step through it and creating your intentions this year?
I did, and it's so you bring up a really good point because a lot of the tarot courses out there are here's the minor, here's the major, and ours does not deviate from that because there are, I mean, that's key aspects of how you understand and work with your cards.
Absolutely.
But I have a chapter. I love chapters 4 and 5. So 4 is working with your intuition.
Mhm.
So we dive in and we're like, okay, so you want to work on your clairvoyance. How do you do that with your cards by yourself? How do you work on clairsentience by yourself? How do you lay it out? What do you do? What are the steps? And we have that. So I love that part.
Yeah.
And then 5, there's just so much good like practical stuff.
Hmm.
And then we did some of those examples. So yeah, I did step through it. And then there's also some professional insights, like, what if your sitter, your quorant is suicide? I mean, like, how do you handle difficult situations? So just things that I've ran across professionally. Yeah. So I did go through the course to find it. And that's how I got pretty magical about it.
Yeah, which I love. I might have to just do the same thing and just kind of step back through and take a look at it for setting my intentions and use cards. I'm a big oracle card person, but I know that in the course, though all the minor and major arcanas are defined and there's a lot of, and like you said,
Yep.
tarot doesn't vary in those, whereas oracle is very much up to interpretation of not only the person using the cards, but whatever the writer put in their book. If there's a
The
book.
theme, and how you do it. Do you fall into your card? Do you read the book? Do you?
Exactly. How are
Right.
you looking at it? And really from those, for me, for the oracle cards, it's going to be having to step out and making sure that I am using my cards that are the wordless and that are the non-book, right? Yeah, things like bows, so that I'm being very intentional around what is it telling me? What are my guides telling me? What is Great Spirit telling me that I need to be focusing on this year? What are those things? And stepping back. But I know
Yeah.
that you do that in the course as well, that you talk about oracle cards as well.
Well, and I think, yeah, and it's about how to combine them together and how to use them separately. And
Mhm.
I think Stephanie just taught the course on Oracle. Like literally it's how you interpret them. So, but it's tying it together. There's more, a little more about them. But I think doing the daily card for Immersive Spirit,
Mhm.
and most of the time I use Oracle cards, but I really learned to ignore the phrases and the thing at the bottom. I mean, I always call to it during the daily card, like, oh, well, this morning's card was the egg moon card, but it had
Mhm.
nothing to do with all of the stuff.
Right.
Yeah. So I'm starting to be able to ignore those phrases because Bo's cards are pretty magical because it doesn't come with a book. So it's not a choice to throw the book away.
Right.
And there's no print on there. But I've got
All
to take
intention.
it outside of her, out of her deck. I've got to do it other places too.
Yep, you do. It's hard because a lot of times you look at the word and you make your human mind gets in the way of those interpretations. And
Mm-hmm.
okay, so that's what it's supposed to mean. And it's like, but is that the message for you? Is that really what you're supposed to be hearing? What if you had your thumb over that little piece right there and you're just looking at the card?
Right.
Now, step in, right? And her trick, I love it. It's a great trick and a lot of people use it. But look at the card for 10 seconds, put it down, and then pick it up again and look at it again and look at what you see. What do you really see there? Because you'll see something different every time. And
Yeah.
we could go on and on about that, but I just wanted to bring up because the thing is, I need to use that to set my own intentions this year, right? I mean, I need to sit with my stones. I need to step in because I have to do that today and get that as part of my Yule in saying, okay, where do I want to live more intentionally this year? What is it that I'm supposed to be working on? And what is my year? What's my word or my phrase this year?
Right. And getting down to it is getting down to it.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it is. So, it just reminded me because, like, in our remote viewing course or our tools and practice when we do remote viewing, is
Mhm.
that analytical overlay. So that just popped in my head because I was just rolling through our remote course this morning, making sure if that needed updates. And analytical overlay is a term like when we're remote viewing and we drop in and we see water. Does that mean the water's running in the river, or is that some kind of symbolism? So, and your mind automatically takes you to what that water truly represents. So that's your analytical overlay. So it's
Mhm.
like, sorry, I went way squirrel on us, but it's
No,
just
that's
because I
awesome
ran
though.
across that this morning. So don't analytical overlay anything.
Nope.
Write it down, ignore it, move on.
Yes. Yes. The minute you're analyzing it and your left brain's kicking in,
Mm-hmm.
stop it. Walk away. Walk away. As my
Right?
nephews used to tell me, walk away, Aunt Steph, walk
Walk
away.
away.
I'm like, oh, okay.
They'd
They
hear
would,
that now and be like, oh, that's so embarrassing. I didn't do that.
oh, we have video, I'm sure. Yeah.
I'm sure we do. I'm
Anyway,
sure we do. Oh,
enough.
that's the other thing, since because you brought right and left brain. I know this is supposed to be short and we're going on anyway.
Mhm.
Hemisync. So that was the other thing. Because again, I just reviewed the remote stuff this morning. So I was
Right.
going through and there's hemisync in there, and I had to remind myself of what that is. And that's hemispheric synchronization. So they're binaural beats, and binaural beats is playing two different frequencies in each ear.
In each ear, yep.
But hemisync plays them only off by just a little bit. So like there's 200 playing in this ear and 210 playing in this ear, and
Mm.
it comes to what's called brain entertainment. So it creates its own entertainment and it actually pulls your hemispheres together. I know, crazy stuff, and there's like so many experiments about it, but hemisync is yeah, and there are I don't know if they have them on Spotify or where, but there's actually hemispheric synchronization tones that you can download and listen to. If anybody wants to try it out, because that
Oh
sounds
my
really
gosh, I'm totally gonna try it. I'll grab my AirPods and
right. And yeah, you definitely have to have pods in
oh
for it.
yeah. And you do for binaurals too. I mean, you got to
Yeah.
have your ear, whether it's earphones or something, but you have to be able to tune out all the other sounds to have that going back and forth. But to try that, hemispheric.
It's hemisync, hemispheric
Hemisync.
synchronization.
Hemispheric synchronization.
And we talk about it for remote viewing because it's a tool that we've come across before that we know like the CIA used to try to
Right.
advance people in a faster way. But I don't think Steph and I have ever tried it. But now that we're talking about it today, I think we should both just try it.
Yeah. And we can look at that as exploring our tools for our next remote viewing workshop.
Right.
Yeah. I think that'd be a good
there you go.
For that
there she goes thinking again.
Right.
Getting us organized.
Adding to our list.
Or that.
The list grows. The list grows. Yes. Yes. All right. I think with that.
All right, back to Yule. Sorry. Yeah.
So I think we pretty well wrapped it. I mean, it's celebrate. It's being intentional with yourself, because it is self-reflection, it is shadow work, but it's celebrating. It's celebrating the beginning of the winter and how we're actually getting, this is our shortest day, longest night, and now everything here just starts getting brighter, right? So we start expanding again. And so it's all about growth. It's all about letting go of the old and embracing the new and setting those intentions for what you want in your coming year and for yourself. But also, to Natalie's point in her card this morning, the villain. Are you going to be a villain in somebody's life going forward, or are you ready to let that shit go? And I say let it go. Because why? Why hold on to anything that's going to bring you any kind of karmic anything? But it's choices. It's all choices. So
release the ugly stuff, clear it all up, get your seeds ready, put them in your grow shed, because we will be planting those things in the spring.
Oh man. Yeah, we are.
Yeah.
Big time. Yes. And lots more on that to come as well. So yeah. And we do have the entire spread. So again, for the Spring Awakenings one, for Impulse and Ostera. And for those that get the print version, my apologies, because you're going to have 2 copies of Ostera in there. But
it's okay. It's extra paper.
Extra paper, right? Consider it journaling or doodling pages as you're reading through. But it goes through different ways on how to celebrate and how to some affirmations, some journaling and that type of thing. So if you're unsure how to get started, it's a great resource to just kind of dive into each of those sabbats.
Yeah. And, well, at least those 2 that are in that quarter, because it's a quarterly journal.
It's a quarterly journal, because let's face it, there's almost 300 pages in there. So a yearly one, no one wants to carry around a yearly journal. Sorry, that is going to be 1,000 pages.
So this one only has Ostera and Impulse, right?
Correct.
Impulse and Ostera. Okay, yeah. Yeah. Anyway, it's a great thing to work with sabbats and go party and celebrate and do all your things.
Right. Spring.
Getting a little crazy.
Yep. Getting ready to move to spring. So enjoy Yule and Winter Solstice. And for those that are on the Southern Hemisphere, welcome to Summer Solstice, right? We know you're celebrating your summer beginnings, and yay for you. Enjoy your sunshine. But for those of us in the Northern Hemisphere, bundle in and look at how you're setting your intentions and reflections, and make sure you are taking active steps today, because it's a good day to get it all done.
For real.
Anything else to add?
Nope.
All right. Awesome. Well, I think we rambled on enough about our courses and all of those. But of course, everything can be found at immersivespirit.com under course offerings. We'll detail it out in the episode notes for the podcast. And we do have, of course, workshops that will be coming up. The newest one in February that will go with our new tarot offering is Tall Tales.
Tales and Truths.
Tarot Tales. Yeah. Tarot Tales and Truths. See, I have it written wrong on an email and everywhere else. Go figure. But Tarot Tales and Truths. So I put it out wrong, but
that's fine.
And our tarot course will be required as a prereq before you can join those workshops. Just as kind of a heads up, if you are a IS Town Square member, the workshops will be included for you free once you have taken the course.
Which is not the Lunar Courtyard members.
No.
Yeah. It's
our
the paid membership. Yeah.
That's our free membership. Our IS Town Square is paid membership. But they get 50% off. Our members there get 50% off all of our programming, all of our course offerings, I should say. And they get the workshops included for free each month. Yep. So for $7 a month. So, if you're going to pay $10 for the workshops, then why wouldn't you?
Which would be $30 a month if you took psychic development, remote viewing, and the tarot, tales and truths. That's
right?
$30.
Yep, that's $30. Or you can pay $7.
You can pay $7 and get all three of them if you want to go.
Right. And then get 50% off on the tarot course. So instead of paying $25, you pay $12.50. Just
right.
But anyway,
don't overthink it. Any rate.
I don't either. Give it away. Give it away. Give it away now.
We do.
Yeah, we do, but that's okay. That's the point we want to share.
What we're here for.
We're here to share.
Yep.
So that's it. This is Stephanie
and Natalie.
And from high heels to happy feels at Immersive Spirit, we want to thank you. Have an amazing Yule and Winter Solstice. And we will see you again next week. Bye-bye.